Welcome to the Texas Authors Institute TV show, produced by Beyond Bourgeois for the Texas Authors Institute of History, Incorporated, copyright 2024. If you would like to become a sponsor of our show and help us produce great content, please email us at texasauthors@outlook.com. If you would like to be on the show as a Texas author, please email us at texasauthors@outlook.com for more information. Music is Frolic of Words, created for Texas Authors Institute by Happy Fellows. Thank you for watching the Texas Authors Institute of History show with your hostess, Rox Burkey.
Texas Authors TV. I'm Rox Burkey, and I am a co-author of the Enigma series, which is a whole lot of different kinds of books. But I'm here tonight for something far more fun. I'm here to actually speak with this wonderful lady from Ukraine, Lika, who has come to the United States, and she's in Lakeway, Texas. And we're going to talk about her book today, which is you got to kind of hold your breath here because it's No One in the Middle of Nowhere. So it's a very stunning book. So welcome, Lika.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So I found it very intriguing that one of the things that you're very focused on doing with all of the upheaval that's going on in Ukraine, that you're focused on the art and helping artists. How did you get committed to that?
Well, actually, art has been my passion for recent 15 years. And even before the war, I had 2 art galleries. And frankly speaking, it was quite a journey, because being a marketer myself, once I just ended up opening an art gallery because it was just all about a miracle that had happened to me. Once I painted an artwork and I posted it in Facebook, and there was one Italian gallerista who responded to my Facebook artwork like, "Oh my God, this is wonderful. I want to see it in Paris on the exhibition." And I was like, "Oh my God, this is my first artwork in life. I mean, how would you even like it? How would you even see it?" And so I thought that that was a scam, but my husband, he told me, "You'll never know if you never try." And so we went to Paris, and that same night we set up the exhibition, and my artwork, my first painting in life, was sold there in Paris Biennale, and it was kind of something amazing. And that's why I started my own gallery back in Kiev, back in Ukraine. It was in 2014. I started my own gallery to help other women, mostly women, to start their artistic or creative endeavors. Because for me, it was such a change to change from an office job that I had a marketing agency, just to sell it all and to invest in an art gallery, which I didn't even know how would it work or would it work at all. And so in 15 years, I have gathered so many wonderful and talented artists. And well, that became my true passion, because being a marketer and together with being an artist myself as a hobby, I found myself very useful in helping other artists to build their career and to have their own artistic path and success. And that's why still here in the USA and back in Ukraine, I always cherish my artists and trying to help them.
So you're in a very unique position that is difficult for many people to relate to, because you lived in a war situation. So when did you actually do your first artwork, and when did you open your gallery? Because I think having a framework of the timeline that you had to deal with helps make it a reality, Lika.
I opened my first gallery in 2014, and it was the gallery for newborn and emerging artists, as I call them, because they have just discovered their talents, and it was my passion to help them. And then suddenly I received another very interesting offer, which was to be a managing partner in another gallery was working with established artists and very high-end art, like the art that is sold on Sotheby's, Christie's, and etc. And so I managed both galleries, and it was amazing, you know. Unfortunately, all that ended one of a sudden when the war began.
No, I understand totally. But while you were running the galleries and helping to encourage new artists and let people show their creative side, were you still creating art as well, or were you just focused on the marketing and the art side?
No, I was creating my art as well, but you know, I call it like my professional hobby because it's still a hobby for me because I do it just for myself and to enjoy because I enjoy the process so much, so deeply, and um, I just I just have so much fun and joy and doing all the artistic work. But together with that, it became somehow professional because along with managing my artists and building their careers, I also can manage me as an artist and manage my career. So, you know, that's actually a funny story because when I started my first gallery, and on the grand opening party, there were like a lot of tons of people, you know, like plenty of people. And there were some art gallerists who entered my venue also, and they were like, okay, Lika, you will never manage both. You have to choose either you are an artist or you are an art gallerist because you will not manage both. And I said, well, watch me.
Good for you. Good
Yes.
for you. That's excellent. And so it just kind of highlights your drive, your determination to be able to bring all of the art form together. Because marketing for art is also a very creative side. So that's actually very remarkable for you. All right. So at what point did you decide the story of No One in the Middle of Nowhere, War and the Violin? When did that become a need for you to tell?
Um, you know, still I'm trying to answer all of those questions, and I'm always worrying of not to cry because the war began on a sudden, just and occasionally Thursday, and it could have been any day of the week, but still we couldn't have been prepared because there is no good time for a war. And because war cannot be scheduled, you know, so we all, like 40 million people, we all lived our best lives and like making family, love, art, businesses, homes, everything. And it was all ruined all of a sudden. And um, I plead the war just before one day before the war began. Just because of my intuition, I just gathered all my kids and my family, and I said, well, we have to leave just in case. And unfortunately, the case has taken place. And then we had this, I would say, awful journey, you know, that lasted for a couple of years, that took us all over Europe and continents. And you know, they say that traveling is so much fun, but it is fun when you have a home to go back.
No,
And
it's terrible. You and members of your community and your country have had to fight for a place to sleep and something to eat, and it's very, very tragic. And my heart goes out to you and all of those who have had to do that struggle. I have friends that actually ended up in Finland that were in
yeah,
Ukraine. So it's very, very difficult. Um, so you decided to write the book when you got here, or when did you decide to write this book?
um, I think that it was maybe a year before I got to the United States, but it
Okay.
was not intentionally, it was not a book. I just started to write my own feelings to never forget how I felt, you know, because it was so essential for me to understand later the meanings of what I did. the choices, what I made, the reasons for those choices, because I know that our mind is somehow tricky, you know, and it keeps only the good things and it erases trauma and other stuff. And somehow you will not remember maybe why did you do something like that, or did you choose something. And it was so essential for me to have those memories. And so I started to write this book, and it was not occasional, it was not intentionally a book, but then it became a book. And then I understood that it becomes even more than just a memoir or something, because um, in this book
And this is
I
perfect. Wait a minute, we're going to hold on because this is perfect. Unfortunately, we've got to hear from our advertiser. I want to come back in just a minute and get into the details of your book and how you created it. So stick around.
Each and every one of us has a mission in life. Mine is to help people laugh through the good times and the bad. My name is Charlotte Canyon, and I am an author, a speaker, and a host on Indie Beacon Radio. If you need me to speak at an event or autograph my book, you can contact me at charlotte@charlottecanyon.com. Thank you, and have a blessed day.
Texas Authors Institute of History is not only a nonprofit museum for Texas authors, TAIH is also a place where authors can learn about publishing and book marketing. Check out our new magazine, the Texas Authors Magazine, available for free at texasauthors.institute today.
Thank you for watching the Texas Authors Institute of History show with your hostess, Rox Burkey.
Welcome back to Texas Authors TV. I'm so delighted this evening to hear about the journey, arduous at best, that Lika has gone through in trying to recapture her dream of a gallery, recapture some of the contentment of actually creating art that she had when she left Ukraine. And, we left, Lika, when you were talking about, you created this memoir, and then it became something more. It became kind of a poignant story of memories, right?
Then it became a metaphorical and psychological book that actually is not about a war, but it is about our human experience, which we can go through while we face uncertainty or the circumstances that we didn't wish for. And from the readers who have already read the book, I received so many responses that it was so helpful for them. Although they didn't go through war or they didn't have such huge challenges, but still there are so many hints, little treasures that can help everyone to overcome their own problems or sufferings or something like that, like difficulties that they face. And so now I understand it's not a war book, and it's not a memoir book, and it was really very, very difficult for me to categorize it on Amazon, because it's neither that, but so I called it a metaphorical novel biography. And I don't know if it's correct, or did I just make it up? I don't know.
But that's very interesting, because I think what I'm hearing that it shows to readers is that no matter where you live or where you grow up, you're going to face obstacles that you need to overcome. And this is relatable because you are being so open about some of your obstacles. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, I think that this is completely true, and I really hope that that book will find its readers not only who are interested in a war-related subject, you know, but who are interested in finding themselves among something, because the book is called No One in the Middle of Nowhere. That's how I felt while we were traversing continents and countries. And it was not because, you know, like the most difficult for me was not to leave our belongings or properties or, I don't know, vehicles or stuff. It was about losing me, myself, because I had so many times I had faced the question of who am I if I am not a gallery owner? Who am I if I am not an artist right now? Who am I if I cannot help my artists who are still there back in Ukraine? And it's like you totally lose yourself. But then the book tells you of how to recover and discover yourself again, and how to be reborn, and how to find the strength to carry on living and to find your new, I don't know, phoenix rising wings.
There you go. So if you were to categorize a person that would get a lot of value out of your book, can you kind of, you know, like an age, gender, who's going to be the best audience for your book?
You know, this is amazing question, because I'm asking myself this question every day when I look at this book. And frankly speaking, when I was writing it, I was thinking that it is like a totally woman thing, like, because you know, being a woman means that you have plenty of thoughts at a time, like thousands of maybe, yeah, or I don't know, like a million of them at 1 second. And sometimes men, they just don't understand that there are so many things going on in your head while they're talking to you, and you are just having all these things around. But there, well, I don't know, my husband never understands that. So I always thought that this book will be more womanish, yeah, for women. But I found a lot of men responses and feedbacks, and it was also very useful for them. And you know, when writing this book, I was trying not to make it emotional, because I understood that it should not be a book about my emotions, how I felt. I understood that somehow it should be a book that can translate what I feel without actually saying the words I felt, I was feeling, I don't know, you know?
And so, and that's interesting because you're crossing gender, which is good, because everybody has feelings. Everybody has an emotional um, uh, need, whether it can be vocalized or not. So it sounds like you've tapped into this. So it actually begs the question of, has your husband read it, and what did he think of it?
Oh yeah, my family read it, and frankly speaking, they were a little bit worrying that they are not in the book. I mean, yeah, somehow, of course, I tell it's a story about my family and our journey, and of course, they are mentioned in the book. But somehow, I felt that I have no right to tell their own stories. And if they would love to share their own feelings and thoughts about everything that we've been through, it's their own right and their decision. And so, of course, I mentioned them in the book, but I do not tell anything about them. And somehow my friends actually who read the book, they are asking like, wait, where is your family all the time? I mean, yeah, you mentioned that they're somewhere around, but what are they doing? Why aren't they, I don't know, helping you or interacting with you or something like that? But it was my decision, and I made it on purpose, because the book is about me and not about them.
What do you hope to accomplish with this book? So is it something where you would like to be in book clubs talking to readers getting their feedback on the book after they read it, or speaking to people about how to be open about life that's going on around them? I mean, how do you want to position it?
I already started the book club talkings, and I'm very grateful for all people that I meet in this way, in this path, and they guide me through it, and they help me to find my book readers, because I am so new here to the United States and to Austin, and I barely know people, like few of them, my neighbors. Actually, it all began, I would say that it all began because of my neighbor, Christine, whom I met when I came here and I established here. And she was like, okay, I'm going to send you a welcome basket. And she did. And then I sent her my book in return with gratefulness, And then I met her on the street, and she was like, Lika, come over here, come over here. And she showed me that she ordered like 50 books, and she was thinking of making presents out of my books for her friends and relatives, And it was so sweet, and I felt so much support from her, and that was the beginning of the journey, because after that I went to my husband and I said, well, Christine made such a wonderful act for me, like this was something so supportive and something so kind of her, and maybe my book is really worth something. And he was like, of course, I told you from the very beginning, you should talk about it, you should share it, and you should share it to the world. And that's how it all began. So thanks to Christine, my neighbor, and the support of my husband, now I am free to talk about the book.
I love that. And so unfortunately, we're right next to another time where we need to hear from our sponsors. Stick around. I want to come back in the next session and tell people where they can find you, where they can get your book, and how they can invite you to their book club. So stick around.
I am happy to announce that the third issue of the Texas Authors magazine is now available for free. Go to texasauthors.institute, select the magazine heading at the top, then scroll down to issue 3. You are always welcome to review the other issues from our inaugural year. While at our website, Texas Authors can sign up for our newsletter that keeps you informed of the latest news, tips, and tools to be a successful author. Go to texasauthors.institute for more.
We're the ones who dare to dream, to mend the tears and stitch the seams. Hand in hand we'll pave the way for a brighter tomorrow, come what may. Together we'll rise with grace.
Thank you for watching the Texas Authors Institute of History show with your hostess, Rox Burkey.
Texas Authors TV. I'm Rox Burkey, and we are in the final segment with my delightful author, Lika. I am so glad that you're with me. So, you have written the book, No One in the Middle of Nowhere, War in the Violin, which is really more about self-discovery and self-realization on where you're doing. At least that's how I'm taking part of our discussion. So let's start with, where can people find your book? Where can they buy it?
It is located in Amazon. You can just search for it by my author's name or by the title, which is No One in the Middle of Nowhere or War in the Violin. And well, this is the first place that you can find it and order. and I hope that it will come fast.
No, I'm sure it will. So it's available in ebook today and in paperback?
Paperback and hardcover, yeah.
Oh, and hardcover. That's even better. So perfect for the upcoming Christmas season to let people have a peek inside and maybe relate to some of your experiences at a different level, which is fabulous. I know you like book groups and like to talk with them. So how can someone reach out to you to get you into a book club or to have you come and speak to them?
I'm very, very open digitally because I have all the social media you can ever imagine. So I have Facebook, I have TikTok, I have Instagram, I have websites. I definitely have an email, which is located both wherever you can find it. It's all over the internet. So if you just Google me, you will find me everywhere and on Amazon and in all the social media. So I'm always open for communication, and I always check up the spam folders, which Facebook and Instagram usually hide the very important messages. I don't know why.
It's a habit that they have. It's funny how that goes. I'm glad you picked up on it so early. All right, so this is very interesting. You are on Instagram. But the other thing is, you are actually in your heart. You're an artist. You like doing galleries. You like working with other arts. So, are we going to be able to find you in the near term with your own gallery that we can come see your work? Are you still creating art?
Yes, I am creating art, and I'm also working on establishing an art gallery here in Austin. And right now I'm working on the Miami Art Basel and Context Fair and Affordable Art Fair Austin and other art fairs that are located all over the United States. And as a blessing, I have already met such wonderful artists here, even in Lakeway where I live and in Austin. And I have a very nice group of women artists which I would love to present all over the globe.
I think that's very, very exciting. I look forward to maybe at least you'll start out with, something on Facebook, like a virtual meeting to have people meet some of these artists. I think that would be fun, especially with the holidays coming up. So, what, for a last word, what would you like to tell people as far as getting your book? What do you want them to know?
Back in Ukraine, I had this saying with which I always ended the conversations like this, and it was, "Life is art, so live it beautifully." And I think that this is the slogan that can help a lot of people to always remember that your life is a masterpiece itself. So you just have to create it every day that you wake up.
Lika, that's absolutely beautiful. I'm so glad that you came on the show today. I am so grateful that you have shared your memories and kind of opened up the world of you so others can have a conversation about their life. So thank you very much. I look forward to meeting you at some point face to face, though I love Zoom, but we'll go from there. So thank you very much.
Thank
and
you.
have a nice night.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be here today.
Welcome to the Texas Authors Institute TV show, produced by Beyond Bourgeois for the Texas Authors Institute of History, Incorporated, copyright 2024. If you would like to become a sponsor of our show and help us produce great content, please email us at texasauthors@outlook.com. If you would like to be on the show as a Texas author, please email us at texasauthors@outlook.com for more information. Music is Frolic of Words, created for Texas Authors Institute by Happy